Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It's Uncle Makara. Today I'm talking about pain. Pain travels through families until someone actually chooses to feel that pain. And maybe it's your job to heal that pain by feeling that pain. And society labels you with all of these words. You have anxiety, you have bipolar, you have depression, you have all of these things wrong with you, but never congratulating you or reminding you of your greatness, what's right with you. Which is why I chose this path of positive psychology, because it's a different paradigm, a different lens to heal from. Okay? So I'm on day, I think, 7 of my Asar journey right now. And I'm reminded of the Mantak Chia teachings, where basically you have to cool yourself down or warm yourself up, depending on whether you're a man or a woman, during your own sexual Taoist practices. So Taoist practices are very powerful, and sexual alchemy is something that they actually teach. It's very powerful if you can simply squeeze your perineum, your muscles, and make it almost like a power pump of some sort that sends energy to your upper chakra, so to your heart, so you can feel through it, as well as the top of your head. In yogic practices, they call it mula bandha, a root lock, right? So they clench the anus and that area in order to pull the energy up so that people can actually experience that blissfulness, that sexuality, that feeling good in the body, right? Basically accessing the nectar within. We have this sacred nectar, this jing, right, as they say in Taoism. So the more aroused that you feel and the more love that you feel, you start to emanate this kind of electromagnetism, which is this jing, okay? And I truly believe that this jing can help you with pain, okay? It's a healing process. So sexual energy is also healing energy. So start to understand that, and it's still life force energy. It's all energy. It's different forms of it, right? When we're younger, we can ejaculate a lot more, right? We can make up for that time because we have a lot more energy, correct? And as we grow older, we kind of lose out on our energy, therefore reducing the frequency of our ejaculation, okay? Now, maybe you're an older person, you're ejaculating all the time regardless. That's okay, but you're also draining your jing and your energy, okay? So you got to use that time really wisely and start to understand what is most valuable in this time. What is most aligned during this time for me. And getting really, really clear about things, at least in your own mind. And that comes through building a very solid self-esteem, I think. A lot of spiritual empaths, they're fun, but they have an identity crisis, right? They're not even sure who they really are, okay? And I think that's problematic. I think that a lot of us, we've got to understand how to lean into our pain and feel it all, because if you are taking on the responsibility of feeling through your generational pain and traumas, that means you are the shaman, you are the priestess, you are the healer of your generation, of your tribe. So first of all, you're here for a reason, okay? Because Primal Sutra is all about that. We're here to stop all those generational curses right where they're at. Okay, we are where the road ends with all of that behavior. And guess what? It starts from you observing your family. What are the patterns that you still notice within them? Those are patterns that might have manifested in your current relationships, correct? So when we do that type of healing, mother wound healing, father wound healing, it creates a powerful bridge for us where we start healing. And then when we start healing, we impact the lives of others. Okay, so it's this positive ripple effect that I really want you to think about this as. Now, a lot of people, they avoid going to a practitioner. They feel that their egos at least tell them that I can do it all by myself. And that lone wolf mentality will last you maybe a couple years or so, okay? Until you realize that, man, I'm really fucking lonely, actually, right? And then you seek out your tribe. And there's a great quote that I saw the other day, which was like, if you do not ever howl, you will never find your pack, right? So you've got to actually speak your truth right now, because that's how you're gonna naturally magnetize the people that are meant to hear your messages. You see what I'm saying? This is why, posting on social media has such a positive ripple, because so many people around the world are seeing that, perceiving that, understanding that, having to change maybe their own internal structure based on somebody else's internal structure. And that, I think, is a very powerful thing. If we can really understand how to change ourselves, we can start to change others. And I'm not one of those practitioners who's going to force change upon you. I want you to really lean into your greatest self. I want you to feel into the character that you are meant to be, not who society wants you to be, not who your parents want you to be, not who your teachers are forcing you to be. I want you to be who you prefer and decide to be, okay? And you can tell me that, I want to be a superstar, okay? Now, it might not be possible in this realm, but we will get you into what? A superstar frequency, a superstar consciousness, so that more of those events start to magnetize in your reality. And this is really what we're doing. We're character jumping, we're timeline hopping. Looper, Jumper, all those movies, they're real, but instead they're with character archetype upgrades, okay? And every single full moon, every single time we just add, we keep adding to this avatar, we keep adding layers, we keep removing layers and adding layers, so that what remains is pure and truthful, and it stood the test of time, okay? Understand that if your goodness lasted this test of time, it becomes more than a virtue, right? It becomes a strength. So if you held on to your sense of humor through all times of darkness, that sense of humor is one of your strengths. You get that? If you understood that my sense of curiosity actually kept me surviving and kept me learning more and increased my love of learning, that's one of your strengths, is curiosity, okay? And you can take a quiz online. I always give my top students quizzes because I like to know where they're at. And once I know where they're at, I can help them chart a path much easier. So now that you've been told to feel through this wound, or these woundings, understand, make a list, okay? Ancestral wounds. And go through in what you observe. Speak to your family. Tell your mom, what did grandma struggle with? What was her emotional issues that she was going through? You still have to heal that. Maybe she didn't heal that, okay? Maybe great-great-great-grandmama didn't heal her wounds, okay? But we can get close enough to where we can impact our current lives, okay? So even if it was a few past generations ago, you can still pull that information to help you heal and become stronger in this lifetime, to evolve your bloodline, in a sense, okay? And this idea of evolve your bloodline keeps coming up, because I understand that, it's my responsibility to take my energy towards me. And I posted yesterday, I was saying, if anybody's trying to siphon my energy, you do not have the consent to use my vitality. I return all my power back towards me, And that is such a powerful statement, because I said anyone or anything, right? So any body, physical body, but also any entity across any dimension, any sphere of reality, right? This is like a powerful banishing ritual that I'm doing, but it's through social media, you see? And I think it's very powerful to be able to cause an impact like this. So write down all your wounds and go tackle them, okay? Let's say you have a wounding of people pleasing, okay? Now you gotta go into situations where you drop that people pleaser mask. That is your task. You practice taking it down, okay? When you do that little which we learn to do, we learn to pretend this kind of joyfulness around relatives or whatever, right? The Indian families especially, right? To put on this fake smile. Oh yes, auntie, ha ha ha, hoo hoo hoo. Okay, we do this thing. And it's like this walking this tightrope, or this kind of like inauthentic vibe walk, right? It's like walking on eggshells type of feeling. You want to avoid that. You really want to avoid that, because that thing It's going to come up in various situations in your life, right? You're in a place where you don't know anybody, right? You're in some situation where you have to get to know a stranger in order to get along. Maybe you've been put into a group with complete strangers, right? And you have to get along. So this kind of thing is really, really key, man. Then, let's say, for example, one of your wounds is abandonment, okay? When people leave you, you get scared, you get more in your head, you get more frozen, you get more lonely, whatever it is, right? You have some kind of effect that it gives you, right? It shows you symptoms. And I understand as a medicine man that when I'm presented with a symptom, it's a part of a bigger picture, a bigger story, you know? And so I like to delve into that sometimes. It helps, you know? Because these are all symbolic, if you think about it. Your subconscious mind speaks to you in symbols. And if you can change and rearrange the symbols in your mind, changing it structural-wise, symbolically, you see? We're doing a very interesting thing where we were kind of breaking down, I think it was Chris Brown and Adin Ross. We were noticing how Chris Brown was talking to these girls and how Adin was talking, and like Chris Brown was coaching Adin and how to do it. And I saw Ryan do something very interesting. He took a screenshot. He went very quantum physics on this, right? And so he was like, what if Adin was here and then we placed Chris there and then the girl was in the middle? And then we could have, and it was kind of went into like this breakdown mode, right? And I think honestly, what if we were to do that with our pain? You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's zoom out real quick. So when I was in that particular interaction with her, her friend came over, and then if she came over from the other side, there could have been almost like a social vacuum that I created. You see, we need conversations like that. And this is why you need to actually discuss with your brothers after a night of socializing. You go and you have this kind of infield, as you'd say, right? What did you do? How did you experience this? Where were the pitfalls? Where could you improve, right? And this is how you keep sharpening the axe, sharpening the character. So imagine your pain almost being like this fuel, right? Pain into profit. I think that was Ryan's first event or whatever. It's really important, man, that you guys understand this. Because as you lean into this, you won't even begin to recognize yourself anymore. It's wild how fast the transformations happen. I've seen it happen multiple times, okay? So I hope this video wakes you up a little bit. Join the Telegram group, join all the events. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. Join the Adepts program if you're a real one. Let's go. Lewis.